Well, the Seahawks get a massive win on Sunday as they beat the Minnesota Vikings, getting their first shutout win since week 3 of 2015, but also prove the haters wrong as they go over 500 for the fourth straight year and exceed the win total that Vegas had set for us at the beginning of the year also.
It's football time.
Alrighty, what's going on? Welcome back to the All Round Sports Podcast. Sports only on this channel. I'm your host Antonio. Today we're talking about the biggest underdogs in all football, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, of course, absolutely whipped the Vikings. You know what? But they went out there and just destroyed the living heck out of the Vikings. Mendoza, Max Brosmer, had his first career start and threw for 4 interceptions, and including had a fumble as well. But was sacked 4 times by the Seattle defense as well. And now with this win, Seattle gets to not over 500 for the fourth straight season. So 4 straight years of being over 500 for the Seattle Seahawks. But that's not the only good thing that happened, as we exceeded the win total of the Vegas bettors a while ago, which I said in my video I did to take the over in that one. If y'all pay good attention to that, you probably would get a lot of money from that. But that means we get our next addition into the underdog mentality jar, as I call it, the haters being wrong jar. So we get to add another addition for exceeding the win total from Vegas, and we get another underdog edition. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first of all. But you already know what I'm going to talk about. I think the Seattle Seahawks have a good position now to get back in this division race, especially with the Carolina Panthers pulling the big upset against the LA Rams. Kind of wonder where that team was last week against the 49ers. But that's a story for another day. Before we get started, if you guys do enjoy this video, do me a favor, smash the button down below, subscribe if you haven't already. For now, let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, I love what they did. Now, the offense could do with some improvements, but this defense, oh man, did they go off. 5 takeaways against Max Brosmer. And this team has just been battling through adversity every single week. Every week, it's always something that they can win these games that they should win, which they've done all season. And now they find themselves at 9-3 with a little help from the Carolina Panthers, get at the same record as the LA Rams, so that's really good.
Well, then that is one angry fossil.
But here's the main thing for me. The defense is a championship level defense. That defense has been outstanding for the past few weeks. They have been absolutely amazing. And remember, this was the same defense that allowed 249 yards against the Rams in a losing effort. But I want to talk about Darnold. Now, Darnold, of course, didn't have his best games. He has had 2 fumbles, which both of them I think were lost. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But wait, one of them was lost. I think one of them was recovered by another offensive player, which I think was Cooper Kupp. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But when I look at this game, JSN, of course, did not have his best game, but he still had a really solid game. But to Sam Darnold, he didn't throw a single pick, so give him credit for that. But right now, I see this team winning a playoff game because they are still a really good team. I still believe they can win a playoff game. But here's the main thing for me. If the playoffs were to start today, the opponent they would face, it would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But of course, that could wind up changing because lots of things have changed in the NFC race, especially within the spots of the division seedings, which, of course, the Rams with losing to the Carolina Panthers. There's a new team at the 1 seed, which is shockingly enough the Chicago Bears.
This is impossible. You can't be alive. You have to be a god. Hercules, stop! You can't do this to me. You can't. Okay, well I deserve that.
Of all teams. But, of course, out of all the divisional teams that have a division seed, the Bears right on top of the NFC right now. We'll see how long that lasts. But when I look at the Seahawks, this is a team that thrives off of being the underdog. Now, they weren't underdogs going into this week, but they were underdogs going into this season. I was hearing it from every single fan known to mankind saying, "Oh, the Seahawks are going to go 4-13. They're going to go 5-12. They're going to go some terrible record." Well, guess what? Whenever you all say that, it only drives the Seahawks more. As I've said for the last 3 years, when you doubt the Seattle Seahawks, they will make you pay. And this week they did, hosting their first shutout win since 2015's Week 3. But when I look at this is a team that just continues to prove the haters wrong. They have an over 500 year for the 4th year in a row, second under Mike McDonald, and it's possibly going to be the second year that they have 10 or more wins. Because remember, they take on the Atlanta Falcons next week before they go against the Indianapolis Colts, who have shown they can get beaten. And then the LA Rams. Those two are going to be extremely important if Seattle wants to win this division. So when I look at this team, I do believe the offense needs a little bit more work. I still believe that the missing of Torrey Horton is massive. I think he's out. From what I read, I think he's supposed to be out until the next meeting with the LA Rams. So that's going to be a big loss until then. But when I look at this offense, their run game's getting more consistent. The run game helped the Seahawks this week because Charbonnet and K9 are a 2 running back system. I've talked about this for a while. I feel that they are a 2 running back system, and they've shown that for the past few weeks. K9 and Charbonnet have been absolutely ramming all over the opponents, no pun intended. When I look at this is a team I can see win a playoff game, but I'm telling you this right now. If Seattle goes out there, beats the Indianapolis Colts, beats the LA Rams, and the 49ers and the Panthers in the last 4 games of the season, this team, I feel, has a shot at a Super Bowl. Because, let me explain why. The defense is playing like a championship level defense. The offense, of course, is getting better every single week. Now, am I saying, of course, the Seahawks are going to go win a Super Bowl like Cowboy fans would? Absolutely not. But I feel that they have a shot because of the other teams in the NFC. As we saw from the LA Rams, they can't be trusted even against some middle of the road team which don't know which week to show up. And when I look at this team, they're just the Seahawks are a really good team right now. When we look at the other NFC teams, the Eagles have been shown they can be beat. The Buccaneers are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. The Rams can lose to a Carolina Panthers team and also a Mac Jones squad and choke a 19-point lead to the Philadelphia Eagles earlier in the season. And then other teams in the wild card, which are the Packers and the 49ers. 49ers can collapse at any given moment. The Packers, We're not certain about them just yet. But then, of course, got the Bears that they just beat the Eagles, so I'm kind of keeping my eyes on the Bears as of right now. But when I look at the Seattle Seahawks, they're a team that can thrive off of downers. They're a team that knows how to handle anxiety, how to handle opposition, how to handle adversity. They're a team that you can down them all you want, but they're going to go over 500 just like that. Seattle's like that. When Geno Smith first came into Seattle as a starter, everyone went doom and gloom, including myself at the time. And then, boom, over 500 season, made the playoffs before we went one and done to the San Francisco 49ers. But when I look at the Seattle Seahawks, this is a different team. Their defense is at an elite level unit. They have been one of the best defenses in all of football this year. They've been looking like one of the better defenses, and I still believe that the Seahawks have a chance in their division because the Rams, remember, they almost won even though Darnold threw 4 interceptions. It was still a one-score game. Each of their games that they have lost have been because of one possession. That's it. Against the 49ers, if Woolen would have been in a better place on the Ricky Pearsall throw and the touchdown pass to Jake Tonks, he probably picks it off and never puts Darnold in that situation. And then, of course, Lucas got pushed into Darnold and then forced the fumble. And then let's go to the Tampa Bay game. The ball was tipped in the air. Then it was intercepted by Levante David. Then the game against the Rams. Even though they threw 4 interceptions, they still were able to almost win the game in the end. And probably if they got a little bit closer for Jason Myers, they probably win that game. And now I'm not saying that the Seahawks would have won the game regardless. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But Seattle's shown they can win games. Seattle has shown they can win against some of the better teams. The Jaguars that are currently right now in battle for the top seed in their division with the Colts. The Texans that are starting to look good again. And then, of course, other teams going on around that the Seahawks have been able to beat. I do look at Carolina and see that as a trap game because Carolina's been looking pretty good at home this year. They're 5-1 coming off of losses. When I look at the last 4 games of the season, you have to win out if you want to win this division. You have got to win out if you want to win this division. Because let's say you beat the Rams and the 49ers win out. Let's say that, for example. Seattle would then have to beat the 49ers in that final week to win the division. And now I'm not saying that's going to happen. But if it does, that's going to be a battle that everyone wants to see. Darnold was almost able to win the division last year in Minnesota with a 1 seed on the line and lost to a injury-riddled Lions team that was dealing with injuries on their defense. They were pulling off guys off the practice squad. Dan Campbell didn't even know the game names of most of the guys. And then just got ramrodded by the LA Rams in the first round. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen again. But if Darnold wants to prove those haters wrong, which I know there are haters, if Darnold wants to prove them wrong, he needs to go out there in the wild card round and handle his business. If Darnold can do that as a member of the Seattle Seahawks, I do believe this team has a chance to go deep in the playoffs. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. What are your guys' reaction from this win? What do you guys think the Seahawks need to fix? What do you guys think the Seahawks look really good at? Let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do me a big favor. Smash the button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.